Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. This was one of my top 5 race shoes from 2024, and I'm putting it through the paces today to see if it can still stack up given all the other releases that have come out. Now, if you're looking for a new carbon shoe, you already know what to do. Make sure you're on the Supwell app. Why should you be on the Supwell app? Well, it's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace for hobby joggers, for anyone looking for a race shoe out there. It's so funny. I got an email yesterday and somebody said, these deals seem too good to be true. I said, bro, it's not. It's because hobby joggers are helping hobby joggers. I've personally given away dozens of shoes for free on the app. People pass along the good deals, and it's the community spirit. So if you're looking for a new race shoe, make sure you're on there. We also have a Running Warehouse discount code, so you can get Vaporfly, Cielo OG, Mizuno Wave Pro 2, any of those shoes I put in the deals video yesterday for an additional 10% off of that deals price. And we have special stuff coming with the merch drop this Friday. All right, I appreciate you. Enjoy today's video. Man, it's a beautiful day in Mint Hill, and we have a beautiful shoe here. This is the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. One of the top hobby jogger race shoes. This made my top 5 list of shoes last year. Up there with the Cloud Boom Strike, up there with the Alpha Fly. Endorphin Elite OG didn't make that shoe because it was not a 2024 release. But of the 2024 releases, this is one that I kept liking with each run more. It got bouncier. It got more comfortable. It started feeling more molded to my foot. So they use a different type of foam here. It's not a PIPA. A lot of brands are moving away from PIPA, doing different things. This is an ATPU, aliphatic TPU. It's tuned to be slightly firmer than a lot of the race foams, and it's a really solid option for putting down some power. Now, in this latest crop of shoes that's been dropping, brands are going super soft. So we have the Adidas Adios Pro 4 here. This new version of Light Strike Pro. You've seen me do this if you watched the channel before. I mean, just look at this. Super soft and squishy. And then on the other end of the spectrum here, not necessarily other end of the spectrum, but super tall max stack race shoe here, Hoka Cielo X1. The goal with this thing is to get as much foam as possible into the midfoot, which is okay. It's a fine shoe. It's just really hard to crank up the pace for me, because this foam feels like I'm fighting against it because it's just such a tall stack of foam. Now, I have seen some other people who are midfoot strikers or running slower paces than I am trying to work with the shoe and have it be better. I was trying to crank down to 540, 550 pace, and I was hitting those paces, but it just wasn't the feel that I prefer. It feels too high off the ground. I know it's funny because I'm Max Cushion gang, right? But this just feels like too much of that soft, comfortable foam in the midfoot. So comfortable, yes, but just not my favorite option. And then this thing was just way too soft for me in the Adios Pro 4. So I wanted to go back, revisit the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. And that's the question today, because sometimes when we like these shoes initially and then try other things, the Cielo X1's not working how I'd want it to, the Adios Pro 4 is softer than I prefer. Maybe I'm just hyping up the Puma in my head. Am I just hyping this up? Oh, this is a perfect shoe. This is the great shoe because everything else has an issue. This probably has some issues too. The potential issues that I foresee coming up today in our workout, or that I had throughout the first few runs in it, it felt too firm actually throughout the first few runs. I think that's going to be gone away now due to the break-in. It also felt like on the back here, if you look like where the heel stops at some paces, there wasn't enough cushion on the back of the platform. I don't think that's going to be an issue today either, because we're going to be hitting marathon pace and faster. So other thing with this shoe that's great is it's $230. Compare that to $250 for the Adidas Adios Pro 4 and $275 for the new release Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. You also have great rubber coverage, the legendary Puma grip here. So this is going to be awesome. in any sort of adverse weather conditions, or just flying through those water stations. If you're doing a big marathon, that water starts spilling everywhere in those refuel stations, Puma Grip will help you grip and rip out of those. Also looks great. Nice upper. Overall solid shoe. There's no gimmicks to it. That's the thing, right? Cielo X1, potential gimmick here with how much foam they're trying to put in the midfoot. And the geometry of this is not normal feeling. No gimmicks in the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Kind of a gimmick here in the Adios Pro 4 with what they've done to this heel in the back. This shoe, man, this shoe really could have been saved if they filled in this heel for me and firmed it up about 3 to 5%. But with that, let's go out there and get our miles in the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Actually, let me show you what I'm rocking with today in terms of clothes. And I had a late start. It's Reevesy's birthday, and I woke up late. So I'm going to drink my coffee here. We have the Hatchet coffee. That's pretty good. But let me show you what I'm rocking with today for clothes. So I'm going workout shorts today. Hot pink John G 5-inchers. These are my favorite shorts to run fast in. And then shirt. Bang. We're going Supwell slang. This is what Michelle, our friend Michelle White on the channel here, she called it the Supwell slang shirt. You got the bada boom, you have the bang, you have the up your best. Other people call it the slug life shirt. These are dropping Friday. Friday, we have the whole new drop coming. So these with the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. And look, they even have some pink. Do you notice that? There's a touch of pink on the back. And then I'm going to go classic hobby jogger, black hat. I'll grab some socks too. I think I'll grab some features. Yeah, boom. Features here. So I'm going to finish my coffee, or at least take some more sips of the coffee, and then we can get out there and go. People always say it's a marathon, not a race. A marathon is a race. I think a more appropriate aphorism would be, it's a marathon and a race. You gotta have patience, but sometimes you gotta go hard. That's the thing I love about marathon training. It rewards the consistency and the patience, but it also rewards putting in that work and getting after it. So today we're going to get after it. I'm on tired legs. This is the beautiful thing about marathon training, cumulative fatigue. And I'm going to go for a marathon effort tempo. So my last marathon pace was 6:04. My next big marathon goal is 5:43 pace. So today, if I can be sub 6 mile or minute mile marathon pace, I'll be happy. Because yesterday I did 2 workouts. I did some sprints in the morning with my friend Cam up in Harrisburg, and then in the afternoon I did a fartlek also on dead legs. So double workout day. The morning wasn't super taxing, but pretty fast sprints. I was hitting 3:40 pace for a few reps of that. So legs are gonna have some juice in them, but guess what? Or not some juice, some gunk. We gotta de-gunk them and get the juice. And this is how we get faster. So, few mile warm up, and then we'll get right into this marathon pace. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Dude, these are just right. This is the Goldilocks race shoe. Good squish, good bounce. This is how you do it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get my warm up here. Also, it's cold for shorts and a t-shirt, but I want to run fast. So sometimes I dress colder. But yeah, this shoe is so good. It has that comfort,
just the right stack in the midfoot, and it's tuned so that it's comfortable without being too soft. It's really an awesome shoe. This is how you do it, man. Comfortable, bouncy, and fast. No gimmicks. It's crazy that I thought this was too firm out of the box. It was very firm though. Some braking is required. But now the comfort is just insane. It's perfect. Man, sometimes things are disappointing when we revisit them. This is not one of those times. This is even better than I remembered. I was worried. Mile 1, 6:30. We're back, baby. I love a tempo. Man. It's a great day for some mileage, some vibes, and some pace. Mile 2, 5:46. Building strength on the hills today. See a hill? Kill. That was hot. Mile 3, 5:36. Let me talk to you real quick. This is why we push through the fatigue all winter. When they said iron deficiency this, mileage too high that, you're not running the speed workouts correctly this. This is why we keep pushing. Out here on a perfect spring day, gliding at sub 230 pace. I could read a dissertation right now and my watch says 5:23. And almost at mile 5 here, I'm so much stronger, especially on the hills, and my recovery is way better. I'm flying out here today. Mile 6, 5:31, 3 more miles. We got this big hill here, but we're gonna take it. People want the secret sauce. Secret sauce is the slug mentality. You gotta be willing to roll around in the dirt. Ah. Heartbreak hill, who? The only heartbreak I know is when my college ex dumped me. She was from Boston too, actually. 5:40 up the hill. Mile 8, 5:35. Last mile. That was it. I'm gonna cool down separately. Let's see what we got here. Bang. 9 miles at a 5:43 pace. First mile was a warm-up at 6:30. So again, that's like last week. 8 at a sub 230 marathon pace. That's what we need, baby. Building, man. It felt so smooth out here today. I was just gliding in these things. This is such a good shoe. I don't even know where I'm going. I guess I'll go back around this way, my other loop. Yeah, man, I put in so much work this winter to be able to hit a tempo like that. And I was pressing some, but not a whole lot. It felt really smooth. And I'm on tired legs, so we just got to extend that. That's 2 weeks in a row where I hit 5:40 marathon pace for 8 miles, or 2:30 marathon pace. Bloop and a blast, baby. We just got to keep that momentum going. You got to have that slug in you, man. A lot of people want to get faster, but do they really want to get faster? If you want to get faster, you got to go get faster. You got to go get it. It's not going to just come. This is the brute force method. Complained my way through that speed block, but it paid off. So cooling down in the Deviate Nitro Elite 3, I don't feel as good. That's as expected though. It's a race shoe, right? It's made to push the pace. But again, this is one that on the Supwall app, a lot of bigger runners, really everybody, from bigger runners to smaller runners, to anyone. This is really the shoe right now that people are loving. It's like that Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. And you have to remember, Saucony is one of the big names now with the Speed 3 and the Pro 3, but they were on the come up in performance running when they dropped the Pro 3. It's very similar position to Puma, right? Puma had the Deviate Nitro 2, which was a viral, beloved shoe on the forums. But before that, they weren't taken seriously at all in performance running. And they've just dropped banger after banger after banger. They're following that Saucony trajectory, which means they're probably gonna mess something up soon next year. But yeah, at these paces, I'm probably at an 8-minute pace or something, just jogging it out. It's nothing special for me, but it's still comfortable, still has the bounce. It's just, man, does it come alive. When I'm pushing sub 6-minute pace, this thing is perfect. Sometimes I wish I could bottle these days up, but we just got to appreciate them while they're here. Perfect weather, perfect shoes, perfect fit, perfectly executed workout. The bitterness of that brutal winter slog makes it all the sweeter when we get one like this. Oh my gosh, and now there's Barefoot Mafia staking us out. There really is nothing like a Carolina spring day. I'm not saying that to be funny. Look out here. Is that funny to you? No, it's beautiful. I mean, look at that fescue popping off.
Even the birds know that we put in the work all winter. Man, they can't all be like today, but when they are, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's like getting a fresh haircut on your birthday with the top off in the car, brand new t-shirt. It's a good feeling. 4 mile cool down. We got 9 miles on the tempo, 7:41 pace on the cool down. He's just brute force. That's really all it is. That's the slug life mentality, man. Wake up, execute, stack mileage, and grind. That's all we could do. That is really the only playbook that I know. And I'm going to keep going to that playbook until it stops working for me. And boy, that speed block paid off because I feel strong. It's not that I feel fast. I just feel strong. I can attack the hills. I'm recovering. And I can really get those legs spinning. It feels like I've unlocked more power in my stride. And that's the whole point of strength training. Maybe I should call it a strength block, not a speed block. Yeah, banger of a workout, banger of a shoe. This is the best race shoe on the market right now. It's not even close. I told you, man, everyone wants to know the secret. You know what the secret is? It's not the carbon plated shoe. It's cake. I've been eating birthday cake every day since March 6th. That's Mason's birthday. And Reevesy's birthday is today, March 12th. And we still have about 5 or 6 pieces of the chocolate strawberry cake left in the freezer from Mason's birthday. That's at least 1 more week of cake eating, plus whatever is left over from Reevesy's cake, which is a vanilla blueberry combo. So that's about 2 more weeks of cake. What does Oprah say? 21 days for a habit to stick. So after this 21-day cake block, we're gonna be firing. Bang, man. I told you, they can't all be bangers, but it's so nice when I come back to a shoe like this after having tested so many other shoes on the market. When did this come out? June? About 6 or 9 months ago, roughly. But so many other shoes on the market that I've tested in the race category. Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 PB, Adidas Adios Pro 4, Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. I'm sure there's a few others that I'm not thinking. Oh, I tested the Solomon Elite race shoe. That's a good one. I should get some more miles than that. That's something weird on my hat. But it's so nice to be able to come back to a shoe that I really liked and have it be even better than I remembered. So let's throw up this run today. 9 mile tempo or 8 mile tempo. First mile was a warm up, get the legs moving, 6:30. By the way, people always ask me, what do I do to warm up before runs? I don't do anything. I take the first mile as a warm up. Now, my approach to warm-up is the same as my approach to strength training. Do whatever you need to do to not get injured and to be able to run effectively and run hard. For me, I just take the first mile nice and relaxed. I also don't run immediately. So if I were to wake up at 6 a.m. and start running 6:15, I would likely do some sort of warm-up. But I wake up at anywhere from 6 to 7, depending on the day, or even earlier, 4:30 sometimes on the weekend. But I don't run right away. I run about an hour after I wake up to 2 hours after I wake up. So it's the natural movement. But if you're coming completely cold, and I also am filming, I'm on the floor, I'm getting up, so my body is loosened up. If you're coming into it completely cold, that's when you might want to do a warm-up. And especially before you do a run like this or any sort of speed workout, get some strides, get some faster running. I always make sure to get at least 15 minutes of jogging before a super fast workout. But for these tempos, I really like to get out there and go, because on marathon day, on race day, you might jog 5-10 minutes. I jogged from in Chicago, my hotel to the start line. It was about a mile. But other than that, I had to wait 30 minutes or I think even 45 minutes standing in the bathroom line. By the time the race started, I was cold. And at my 2:39 PR, the first 3 miles were, I think, in the 6:20s. And I had to make up some ground in the middle miles there, drop down to 5:40 and 5:50 to get it back. Point being, on race day, if you're racing a marathon, you're not going to have a big prolonged warm-up. And especially the longer time you're spending out there, the more glycogen you're going to be burning and the less energy you're going to want to expend before the run. So for these tempos, where I'm replicating race pace, that's the whole point of doing an unbroken marathon effort tempo for me. Get as close to race pace as possible and emulate those race day conditions. That's also why I like to run it out here on the hills and not cherry pick, because I want to do it for strength. So I just get out here and go. But 9 miles, first was 6:30, and then I was rolling. Man, it felt so good rolling in the 5:50s, 5:40s. This thing is a complete tank for those paces and for marathon pace and for push and power. This is exactly how I remembered it, even better. This aliphatic TPU, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no idea what that means. Aliphatic, I think it's spelled like, remember that brand Fat Farm, P-H-A-T? I think it's aliphatic like that, A-L-I-P-H-A-T. I should do some research on what that is. All I know is, and here's the thing, I'm not trying to be anti-intellectual and to say I don't need to know what the materials are, but I do like to put more of a focus on the performance. So sometimes I actually don't want to know all the technical details because I'd rather focus on how it feels out here when we run. But I will study up on aliphatic TPU because I'm curious what makes this such a banger. But man, it's gotten better through the first, I should check how many miles I have on it now, but I think I've done, I remember at least a 10-mile run, a 20-mile run, and then a few other runs. So about 50 miles. At least 50 miles on it right now, and it has just gotten better throughout those miles. It is perfectly tuned. It's not super soft at my warm-up paces, but as I put more power down into it, it feels more comfortable and bouncier. If you ever run in the last generation Light Strike Pro, and specifically in the perfectly broken in Adidas Prime X Strung OG, that's what this feels like. I've been recommending the Cloud Boom Strike to people who ask me for a Prime X Strung competitor or a replacement. This is very similar to it. And I actually ran my workout yesterday in the afternoon in the Prime X Strung 2. I don't know, I highlighted it in the deals video yesterday and I said, hey, this could be fun to run in. So I did. Let me throw up that workout. It was 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, 5 rounds through that. I started off at around marathon effort and then I got down to about a 5 flat pace. I just wanted to get the legs moving and grooving, and I also had to go to the doctor after. So I said, hey, why not get something in fun before we have to go to the doctor? It was just a normal visit. Don't worry, I'm okay. Point being, that shoe is way heavier, feels like way more shoe on foot. It is really fun, and it was a kind of a weird pick because it's 330 grams, which is 100 grams heavier than a shoe like this, so not necessarily a shoe that I want to be running 5K pace or even faster than 5K pace at the end when I was getting down to 5 flat, but it could do it. The bounce is there. This has more of that Prime X Strung OG feel where it's a narrower platform. The foam feels softer with the more oomph you put into it. So it's a high torque shoe. You start pushing power and it gives you more power back. It's not gonna be a shoe for tiptoeing along, and that's why I did not like the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. That thing just felt way too mushy in the midfoot. It felt like I had to alter my stride too much, and if you're a high cadence forefoot striker, lighter on your feet, I actually saw one of the other reviewers on Instagram, but I think they're 5'5", running a 310, 315 marathon or something, saying it was perfect for marathon pace. I could see how that shoe would be perfect for somebody's marathon pace if they're not mashing down and putting a lot of power down into the shoe. For this shoe, it stands up really well. And I know there's debate, people are debating whether or not I'm a bigger runner. That's the new thing. I'm 6'2", and I was running this tempo. Let's look at these paces at 540s and 530s at around the 170 cadence. That is a lot. That's my mother-in-law. She's here for Reevesy's birthday. She's a public defender. I think she said she had court this morning. She also said she couldn't drive Mason to school because she had court, but really she was just partying with Reevesy. I don't know. Shout out Jill putting in work. 6'2", 160. I don't know if I'm a bigger runner or not. I'm definitely taller and putting down power at these paces. And a lot of these shoes can feel too soft and mushy for me. Even the Adios Pro 4, I just did not like how that felt. Saucony Endorphin Elite, I want to get more testing on that because that's a special shoe. That IncrediRun foam is amazing. And I've been loving the Endorphin trainer, so I'm going to get more testing on the Endorphin Elite too soon. I still don't think it's going to be the race day pick for me because what this shoe does so effectively is, yes, it has the bounce, yes, it gets better as I run my race paces, but it doesn't take me out of my zone. I can just flow in it and not think about if I'm landing the right way. It feels good whether I'm landing on the back, whether I'm landing on the midfoot or the forefoot. There were some times on that run where I was really pushing, attacking these hills at 520 effort, crushing these downhills. In the last stretch here, in the last 200, I picked it up just to burn that last 200 at around a 5:05 pace, and it still did great. So the more juice you put into the shoe, the more juice it gives back. This foam is really special. It's softening up without being too soft. It is explosively bouncy. Maybe Alpha Fly, I think, is the only other shoe that can rival the bounce and cushioned feel that this provides. The Sky Paris, that might be faster still and more aggressive than this for if I'm dipping below 5K pace or at 5K pace, but that has nowhere near the comfort of this. This is a very comfortable shoe at my race paces and at a lot of people's race paces. And that's the other thing about this, and why I'm so excited about it, is not just me. If you look at the Supwell app, this is the shoe that people are recommending and loving right now. We actually had a lot of people get the X1 2.0 just because it's the latest and greatest, or it's the latest, it's not the greatest, and send it back or list it on the marketplace. This is the consistent shoe that people are recommending getting for their marathons and liking. It's flawless. The upper fits perfectly. The foam is dialed in and comfortable. It's gonna get better with time. And the other beautiful thing about it, and what makes it the best hobby jogger race shoe, the durability. 50 miles here, look at this foam on the back. Basically untouched, and because you have, not the foam, the rubber, sorry, untouched, and because you have this firmer foam, it's also not degrading at all. When you have this exposed foam here on the Zoom X foam and the Alpha Fly, even the Saucony Endorphin shoes, it starts to chip off. And if you look at my Endorphin Elite, the OG, which has the same number of miles on this, I'll actually see if I can grab some B-roll from the deals video I did yesterday. That was all shaved down right here. This one is perfect. So the durability is gonna be great. It's a great long run shoe. This rubber is gonna be awesome for the wet. And I haven't even mentioned this yet, the price yet. Did I mention it in there? I think I did. $230 versus the Cielo. That's $275. Alpha Fly, that's $275. Metaspeed Sky Paris is $250, but this is just the perfect package, and it's not too narrow. Like those Edge and Sky Paris shoes, very narrow. The Alpha Fly, that has the heel cut out. The heel bevel is, I could even measure. I don't have my calipers out here and I don't have the Alpha Fly. Maybe I'll do a head-to-head between those. If people are interested, let me know. I can head-to-head with the Alpha Fly. But that cutout is, I think, about 10 millimeters farther. So there is some weirdness with the Alpha Fly at some paces. This is just a completely flawless shoe. I will venture to say this is a better race shoe than even the $500 Adidas Pro Evo, which I ran in last week. That's a flawless shoe, but this is flawlesser. It's right up there in that same category. There's just no weirdness to it, and the foam gets better with time, and it's durable. It's comfortable, but it's fast. I don't know what else you want in a race shoe. So perfect shoe for this morning. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a spring marathon shoe, this is gonna be the best one for most people. There's just not much wrong with it, and it's gonna last a long time. Great replacement for the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. Great replacement of the Adidas Prime X Strung 2. It's like, or the Prime X Strung OG, it's like a combination of those two shoes. Not necessarily the best qualities of those, but is like the rocker of the Endorphin Pro 3 with the Light Strike Pro from the Prime X Strung OG and the bounce. You have to give it, I'm gonna say this again though, you have to give it some time to break in. If you watch my first run review of this, I did not like it. I said I felt like Isaiah Pacheco just running like I was mad at the ground to get any return out of it. But that run was also, I think I did a 10-mile tempo at a sub-6 minute per mile pace. But then second run on it was a 20-mile long run, and I said, gosh dang, this thing is beautiful. So give us some time to break in at least 10 to 20 miles, and then it's gonna come alive. All right, I think that's all I have for you today. This thing is a complete banger. It's so nice to get a banger. I've been testing a lot of mid shoes, disappointing shoes. Brands trying to do this, brands trying to do that. This is just a really nice package. Puma completely nailed this. So shout out to Puma putting in work. Banger on banger. Mag Max, Deviate Nitro, Deviate Nitro Elite. I'm excited to see what they do with the velocity. I'm hoping they update that soon. Put some sort of a more exciting foam in there, because that could be one of the best daily trainers. That's really the only thing they're missing in their lineup. People are also asking me to review the Nitro 2 again, the ForeverRun Nitro 2, the stability shoe. That thing was awful on the first run. So maybe I'll give it another shot, because this shoe is so good that it's maybe gonna force me to re-review that shoe. Maybe it'll break in as well. All right, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you. If you're gonna get this shoe, make sure to use my Running Warehouse link. Make sure you're signed up for the Supwell app for the best deals, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. All right, so one more thing. I was just looking at the Strava here. I did not even realize this. That was a 5K PR and a 10K PR. And look at this. I was just smooth and consistent. I did not feel like I was at 5K or 10K effort. I didn't even feel like I was at half marathon effort. That is crazy. So, man, that strength block, speed block, whatever you want to call it, combined with keeping, and this is the thing, combined with keeping the mileage up at 100 miles per week, really paid off. That's wild. That is wild, man. Holy cow. 17:12 5K and a 34:42 10K. Just flowing over the hills too. How many feet of elevation gain we have? 456 feet of elevation gain. That's solid, man. I'm ready. Sub 230. We're coming. All right, one more thing. This is too crazy. So Midlife Runner, he commented on my Strava post, and he said he got a good workout in today too. So I go to look at it because he got a 5K PR and I think a 10K third fastest time. I go to look at it, and he was in the gosh dang Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 too. And he has a bunch of shoes as well. I'm telling you, man, this is the best gosh dang shoe on the market right now. It's not just me. Everybody's shredding workouts in the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. That's craziness. So I don't really want to end this awesome video where I had a great workout and it's a beautiful day. We have the best race shoe. I don't want to end it on a bad note, but we might have to. I'm looking at that ForeverRun Nitro 2 right there. It's actually next to the Triumph 22, which was one of the worst shoes of last year. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know what? If I don't run in it now, just sneak this in as a bonus, probably never going to run it again. It just feels, man, it just feels heavy. But yeah, I'm going to get my miles in a few minutes. I have a meeting, then I'll go out and get my afternoon miles in this thing. This is Puma's Stability Max Cushion shoe, or Stability Daily Trainer. I got a 20-mile long run in it out of the box, and it just felt so fine. It felt like the shoe that you get if you just don't want to get injured. There was nothing special or exciting. It's funny, somebody actually said I wasn't using it correctly. I think they said I was running too slow for it. So I don't know. I guess it's a speed. You have to be running fast. Or they said I wasn't pushing off properly. I don't know, man. Maybe you have to run a certain way to get this standard stability shoe to work, but we'll see. I didn't like the what's that thing called? For the Deviate Nitro Elite 3 on the first run, and then I started loving it. So maybe second run here, we'll love this thing. So I'll give it a shot in a few. Man, that's crazy. It's actively hot out here. It's 72. It's beautiful. I love it. So a building block of my training, ever since I broke 3 hours in the marathon, has been whenever I do a workout day, I get 20 miles at least. So if I get usually 12 to 14 miles in the morning, I'll get another 6 to 8 in the afternoon. It's not a requirement, but I do just try to do it. It's good hygiene for high mileage training. Once you're down below 250, 240, stacking these 20-mile days consistently
with getting some faster pace in there, that's the ticket to progressing. I'm reading Des Linden's book right now. I'm 200 pages in. I've only been reading for 2 days. And she said when she was training for Boston when she won, her recovery days would be 14 miles in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. So 18-mile recovery days, which is honestly pretty close to what I'm doing. But I got to say here, lacing up the ForeverRun Nitro 2 honestly feels way better, the fit of this. At least the upper. The midsole is still super uninspiring, but the upper is good. The upper is comfortable. We'll see. I did not like this at all in the first run. This has been requested to give another test. Probably going to be disappointing, but I know if I don't run it today, it's never going to happen. So let's just do this. Nice. I think I have to get, what did I get this morning? I got 13 something, so 6.5 to 7 miles to close it out with 20 today.
Bang! 7-mile recovery run in the books. This was really the ForeverRun Nitro 2's chance for greatness. Nice 7-piece, exactly 55 minutes. Look at that, 7:48 pace, cruising, perfect weather, 72 and sunny. There's actually a marketing agency called 72 and sunny. And the ForeverRun 2 just blew it. Nah, it didn't. The reality is, most shoes are going to be in the fat part of the bell curve. Most shoes are going to be in the middle. If you think about, I'm going to take you to school real quick. Remember back in the day, grading on a curve? And I actually think rating running shoes with classroom grades might be better than a point scale. And let's think about grading it on a curve. The way that the curves worked, you'd have a certain percentage of the class, let's call it 15%, that's an A. And then you'd have 30%, that's a B. You'd have 50%, that's a C or a pass, and then the rest you could be fail or just put in that middle tier. But the requirements are that only a certain few could be at the top. And that's really how it is with running. Naturally, that's how everything is. It's a normal distribution. Most things are going to be in the middle. And this shoe is just one of those middle tier shoes. It's fine. 10 millimeter drop, very uninspiring foam. It is softening up a whole lot, and the first time I ran in this, I think it was below freezing, and this must have some standard EVA in there because it was bricking up that day. Today it did not brick up. It felt much better out here. The foam is fine. It's not as bad as the Cloud Surfer. It's actually not a bad foam at all. It's just completely fine. And this is what I said even after that 20-mile long run, which I did not enjoy the shoe at all. This is a fine shoe for 10 miles and below for most people if you just get it. And that's what a C shoe is, right? A C, a C plus, a B minus. These are the types of shoes where I'm not going to recommend them to anybody, but if you just get it to run in or walk in, it will be fine and it's not going to bother you and it's not a terrible brick. So that's the ForeverRun Nitro 2. Probably the best conditions possible for me to have a good run in the shoe, and it was just okay. It's not bad, but it's not a crazy banger or anything. It's just the 10 millimeter drop doesn't work. If they bump the foam up in the front 2 millimeters, that would be much better. It still had some of that slappy, choppy feeling. The upper is nice, and I do think it's going to break in. It's just with the number of great shoes on the market, am I going to pull this over the Mag Max? No. Am I going to pull this over another shoe that just went on sale this week, Cloud Monster Hyper, $160? No, I don't even think I'll take this over the Vomero, which has been a solid workhorse for me over the past few weeks, and that's the same price as this. I also ran on the Nimbus 27 this week. That was much better than this. I'm trying to think what else I ran in recently. It's just okay. It's just okay. So if you need stability, it will be fine. I just did my best stability shoes roundup last week, and any of those shoes are going to be better than this. So there you have it. ForeverRun Nitro 2. Maybe I'll take it out again. It's not a complete throw in the trash like the Cloud Surfer 2, and it's not even as bad as the Glycerin. That's what I said in this shoe in the first run. Is it's serviceable. Solid C+, B-. All right, there you have it, guys. I appreciate you. We're consistently putting in the work, getting better. Mileage.
This is top of this, top of, something. I watched a pizza as a water pineapple.
This is for Mason.
Not a pineapple? Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Daddy. Happy birthday to you. Go sit.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Reezy. Happy birthday to you.
Think of a wish, something you really want, and then say it in your head, and then blow.
I'm gonna sell a lot of t-shirts for that. Yay!
Cake. What? You love boat cakes?
That's what he asked for. Boats, blueberries, rainbow sprinkles, and Christmas trees.
Wow.
Can I take a picture of you, Ira? Will you say?
Boat cake and the wine. That is like the island.
I know you like it.
That's actually not water.
Say cheese.
I think this. What? Yeah, it's water.
She says cheese.
Yay!
Look at my face. There you go.
Or not?
I love that.
And can I tell you what it says? It says, go to the Discovery Museum. I'll get that. No, this is I don't know.
Just kidding.
Yeah, want it?
Can I hold it?
Oh, no.
No nuts. You want me to get you a fork? One hand.
Oh, look at that cake. Wow. That is beautiful.
Official Supwell Kitchen birthday cake taste test. Vanilla cake with a vanilla vegan buttercream frosting and a blueberry jam frosting. One bite, everybody knows the rules. We didn't have any forks, so I had to get a spoon. Fire. Tastes like a sub 230.